Hello again, YouTube. Truth Man here. This ain't gonna be Sunday sermon, but we will do Sunday sermon. I have an announcement. Starting today, Sunday is gonna be like a regular video day. Like we're gonna still talk about what we talk about on Sundays. Like it's not gonna just be just merely talking about the scripture, although we are gonna talk about the scripture. But I told y'all, if I don't destroy some of the deceptions that you encounter, then am I a prophet? Because that's what prophets do. I'm trying to get out of this sun. So, we're going to start a new series, the false teaching series. The false teaching series. And how fitting we will start out with the prosperity gospel. The prosperity gospel has ruined many relationships. It has ruined many marriages. When I say relationships the first time, I'm talking about friendships. I'm talking about mother, father, grandparents. It's ruined a lot of relationships and marriage relationships. Because people begin to disrespect, to downplay not only a person's spirituality, but them in general because of this false teaching. I'm going to give you some facts about certain people. And this is going to dispel the prosperity teaching. Now, we're going to go to Malachi 3 and 10. We're going to go to it. We got a lot to cover today. I probably do like maybe 3-4 videos. But what I want to do, I want to go to Malachi 3 and 10. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to read it in the Message Bible so it can hit you a little harder. And this will show you that you've been getting scammed by these preachers. You've been getting scammed by these preachers. These preachers in Milwaukee, I'm going to tell you firsthand, people look at Milwaukee and they think that Milwaukee is just like this small, uninhabited city. It's over 600,000 people merely in Milwaukee. That's not counting Brookfield, Tulsa, which are basically the outskirts of Milwaukee. And we have preachers that do little or nothing to help the poor that live in what is called River Hills. If you don't know what River Hills is, if you want to get a brief example of it, just type in River Hills homes, Fox Point homes. Put in Fox Point, Wisconsin homes. That's where a lot of these preachers live at. But people want to just sit and argue with everything I say, though. That's how I know y'all backwards. Some of y'all, it ain't no hope for you. I'm talking to the people that is still hope for, men, women, and children. It's been many times where I say, you know what, man, maybe I should just stop making videos. But then I think about the people that grow and learn and develop from the videos that I put out, and they show me respect. So why would I stop making videos for the people who show me respect due to the people who don't show me respect? Forget them. You can't listen. You ain't gonna like everybody. I ain't gonna like everybody. Everybody ain't gonna be on your team. Sometimes you gonna think somebody on your team and it's gonna turn out that they not. That's just the way life is. You gotta keep living and you gotta roll with the people that roll with you. And that's why we're doing this false teaching series, because these preachers will have you in cahoots with people who don't even respect you or like you, man. Just work it out. No. I ain't working nothing out. Once you show me you're an enemy, once you show me that you're not trying to help me, you're not trying to support me, there's nothing there. When you try to stay around people like that, that's when the strife, that's when you're going to get in trouble. Imagine a person that you at odds would just haul off and clock you upside your head. That's why listen, man. We gonna break all this stuff these preachers be saying that's just not right down. We already started out. Listen, the reason why I cover Tony Gaskin is because he be in them churches speaking. He be around preachers. He in the church environment, man. The church environment, if you're not careful, will turn you into a simp and to have you trying to please and cater to a woman who don't even respect you. That's how they get down. So, False Teaching Series, episode 1, the prosperity gospel. The first thing I'm going to say is prosperity, if you ain't been paying attention, it mainly comes to the wicked. This, though, shows me that there's a God and a devil, if nothing else. When I read about the devil and people try to come along and say there ain't no devil, you sound goofy. Because the person I'm reading about in the scripture, that's what I'm seeing. And I'm seeing it in a lot of people. That's why I'll never say that the Bible is false. It's just been things added that you got to recognize true, false, true, false. And they got you secretly worshiping demons and idols, but who's keeping score? I'm here to help you. So, the prosperity gospel. Now, we're going to read Malachi chapter 3. Verse 10, a favorite verse that make these preachers rich. And they tell you things like, don't support people like me. He not blessed. He this, he that. But then they are just collecting. They not blessed. They the ones that not blessed. They just collecting money. Some people collect money. Some people don't. Okay, here it is. Begin by being honest. No, he says this. Let's go up a little bit. You ask, but how do we return? Begin by being honest. Do honest people rob God? But you rob me day after day. You ask, how have we robbed you? The tithe and the offering. That's how. And now you are under a curse, the whole lot of you, because you're robbing me. Listen, it's the reason why I went to this verse. Bring your tithe to the temple treasury so that there will be ample provisions in my temple. Pay attention. Test me in this and see if I do not open up heaven itself to you and pour out blessings beyond your wildest dreams. For my part, I will defend you against marauders, protect your wheat fields and vegetable gardens against plunderers. See, he was talking about farming. And he was talking to them specifically. And that was a word from prophets. Now, this is how you know. Remember, he said, if any of his words don't come to pass, the prophet spoke presumptuously. So that means if I say something and it don't come to pass, or somebody else say something and it don't come to pass, then that means we spoke it presumptuously. Like it was just us. It wasn't him. Because if he says something, it has to happen, right? Okay, let's look further into this. He said, I will defend you against marauders. A preacher just got shot here, had to fight for his life. He barely survived. So, was that word for him? No. Because if it was for him, he wouldn't have never got shot. See, you got to be careful with the scriptures, man. And with people who deliver the scriptures. He said he'll pour out the windows of heaven. We all know from the book of Enoch that there's windows that the angels use those openings to cause rain to come down on the earth. So he was telling them, don't be acting stingy with what's mine. He was. But he never said that that's how we prosper. If you read the rest of the Bible, it tells us to be like the ant. It tells us to build talent upon talent. we have specific instructions that will lead to prosperity. Give a portion to 7 and also to 8. But y'all let these preachers come. And it's weird how y'all judge so much by outward appearance. Y'all look at my hair and think I'm one of them. I did this on purpose, just to show you that it's not about hairstyle. I want to grow my hair. It don't got nothing to do with what I'm doing. It's just hair. It's bald-headed preachers, preachers with froze, and preachers with Caesar cuts just deceiving people all over the world. So with this prosperity gospel, they say you'll get blessed 100-fold, right? So that means, for example, if you give $100, that's saying that somebody gonna come and give you 10,000 after the same manner that you gave it. Has it happened? Have somebody came and handed you 10,000? Okay, some of you might say, well, yeah, it happened. Okay, well, let me ask you this question then. Did it happen because of any type of service or work that you provide, or did it happen because they just gave it to you? Just like you just gave to the pastor. Hey, listen, that gospel has some truth, but it's false in the sense that you're not even supposed to give out of necessity. You're supposed to give because you have. You're supposed to give because you want to help. You're supposed to give because you're like him. He gives. Now, the dynamic is changing at the closer we get to the end. But he gives. So, and this is another thing I want you to understand. Loans don't count. Paychecks don't count. Because paycheck is you working. Loan, they'll give you a loan no matter who you are if you meet the criteria for that company. So loans aren't blessings. You got to pay them back. So our existence centers around work. You put Adam where? In the garden. To do what? To till. Looking for shortcuts can and often will get you burned. You can win the lottery. But for the most part, the lottery is a scam too, because here's what happens. They probably, I haven't seen them do it, but what they probably do is they probably look and see how much money is on each number. And then the number that has the least amount of money where they could still generate a profit, they probably pick that number, like whether it's pick 3, pick 4. Now you say, well, I'm going to play anyway. That's fine. You might win. But you should know this while you do it. There's a lot of financial scams going on in the world. Our existence centers around work, creation, work, domination. If you sit back and try to rely on these stock companies, what if the company belly up? Now you just all messed up. Next point I want to make is tithing is and was not money. He said, if I do not open the windows of heaven, that's speaking of rain, like I said, a storehouse is what? A barn. So what I want to do next is I want to prove what I'm saying. I have 5 known atheists listed and their net worth. They don't believe in God. They probably don't pray. But let's take a look at this. The first one I want to talk about is James Cameron. He directed many movies such as The Terminator, so on and so forth. He's a known atheist. Net worth, $800 million. That's worth more than practically everybody in your church, including the pastor. And he don't even believe it all. Riches can be deceitful. People, stop praying to God. Stop dealing with the Most High over money. Because it'll annoy the heck out of you to sit and I'm going to be honest with you. When you sit and watch grifters and false prophets and all these people, and then you need little basic stuff and can't get it. If we honest, that stuff is annoying, man. And I'm going to tell you what I learned. Through all of that, I learned how to pray. I said, I'm not going to ask the Most High for no money. I'm just going to believe and do what I need to do on my end. Because the scripture says he gives us the power to get wealth. So if we ain't getting it, then either that's not true, because everything in there ain't true, or maybe we not doing what we need to do as individuals. James Cameron is worth $800 million. The next person I want to mention is Ricky Gervais. He'd be on different shows and stuff like that. Atheist. My grandmother was faithful to the Most High in her church her whole entire life. And I think when she died, she only had like $10,000 in life insurance. She didn't make a lot of money. She did the best with what she had. You know, people could say wrong avenues and stuff like that. But she did the best. She took care of, she did all she could. In terms of her knowledge, her level of knowledge. Sometimes people don't pay attention to, they're not like us, man. Like older people, they don't sit around and think about ways to get rich. And sometimes it backfires. Now, I got somebody that's not like filthy rich on here, but I just want to use it for example because I know she's richer than most people that's going to watch this video. And that's Amber Heard. Remember Amber Heard with Johnny Depp? Amber Heard has a net worth of $500,000, which is not like a lot, but it's more than a lot of us. It's more than me. It's probably more than you. Atheists. Now listen, I'm not teaching you this to get you to give up on the Most High. I'm teaching you this so you can keep things in perspective and learn how to pray. What you should be praying is that he keeps forces off of you and your life, out of your affairs of your life. Because demons think they are entitled to us. You could have a picture in your house and a demon will try to get access to you and mess you up over that one picture. This is how it worked, man. You can been playing with a Ouija board only once, like when you were 7 years old, and a demon to try to, if you don't know that those demons are using that one act to gain access, then you won't know how to pray that thing off of yourself. The next person I want to mention is John Landis. Remember John Landis, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't that E.T.? He did some work with Michael Jackson. I think it might have been Thriller. He's an atheist. His net worth is $150 million. That's worth some whole entire sanctimonious families. That he worth more than some of these people. They don't do this, they don't do that. But he's still worth more than y'all, and he do everything. So while y'all trying to impress the Most High, and you still coming up short financially, John Landis got more money than he probably even know how to spend. And y'all do know that a lot of their net worths be lower than it actually is because they be having money in their closet, safes. They be having cash. That be mainly like the assets that they know about. The last person I want to mention, and most importantly, is Bill Maher. Now, I done heard Bill Maher talk all types of crap and nonsense about the Most High. He's still alive, for one. And he has a net worth of $140 million for another one. Now, I've heard this man myself. This is what I be telling y'all. Y'all be so scared the Most High gonna judge you for this. He got to judge Bill Maher before he judged some of y'all. Otherwise, he wouldn't be being fair. Bill Maher literally encourages people not to believe in God. He don't got financial problems, though. See, this is what I'm telling you. This is why, we want to get as much money as we can. But don't let that money interfere with spiritual things. And don't be afraid to tell the Most High truths like this. This list, these are people who don't respect him. But yet they don't have financial problems like some of the people who do. That's how you know the prosperity gospel is crooked. It's a grift. It's a scam. If you want to prosper, just eliminate a lot of the stuff you heard and just go back and study it for yourself. It tells you everything you need to do. You trying to leave a job or leave college to be a preacher? I'm telling you, all those decisions will come back to haunt you. They will. That's part of, that kind of stuff was part of the issues I done had. I was in college thinking about preaching to a bunch of people who too arrogant to listen anyway. Preaching should be something that you do, and you do it passionately, but you don't let it get in the way of anything else. Mainly because of how these people are. Of course, the pastor don't have to work. He got everybody in the church giving him money. You got to work, though. I got to work. I knew a guy that I used to watch when I used to watch VCY, man. I didn't agree with everything, but I agreed with a lot of what he said. And his name was Jeff Godwin. He used to talk about rock music. He used to be in a rock band, and he used to talk about rock music back in the 80s, 90s. I checked up on him one time because I hadn't heard from him in a while. And the guy that I asked said, well, he got to work and this, that. Jeff Godwin was like, man, skip this. He said, he probably was like, I'm not trying to put words in the mouth. He probably was like, maybe I'm going too far with this. Yeah, he was right. They do a lot of that stuff. Me personally, hey, I don't listen to a lot of that rock and roll. I listen to a lot of 80s music, though. What do it hurt? James Cameron, Ricky Gervais, Amber Heard, John Landis, Bill Maher. I'm pretty sure they are involved in dark actions that are 100 times as worse as the worst thing that I do. The absolute worst thing that I do. Yeah, I get the point I'm making, right? Okay, let's continue because we got a lot to cover here. It sometimes appears that being in a lot of these churches leads to poverty. Why do I say this? Because the people that are in the church, like in terms of in the pews, they often never in their life have had a Rolls Royce or Mercedes. He telling y'all how God want to bless y'all, but then he got all the cars in his driveway. You catching the bus to church. The devil is a lie. I'm cracking that. I'm finna crack all of that. This is what the Bible calls the deceitfulness of riches. I'm learning that it's more witchcraft that go on in the church practically than the rest of the world. People will be praying all type of bad on you just for disagreeing with people they like. Anybody that tries to pray bad on me for disagreeing is coming to you. It's coming back to you. Be careful. You're putting your loved ones in jeopardy. It's coming back to you. Don't do that. I'm going to help you. Do not try to pray bad on me merely because I talked about somebody you like. Because it's coming back to you. And I'm sending it back right now. I proclaim it right now. I utilize the power of the real Most High God to send back every word, every prayer, every request that was made out of negative energy and negativity towards me. And every spirit that tried to compel them to do it, let those spirits be trapped in darkness until their final judgment. People be playing games, man. Hey, listen. Let's get back to this. Here's the points I want to make to show you how you could prosper. First point, just do your best. Do your best. Don't be lazy. Don't be trying to spend too much time with people. Kids, women, you can't impress them. The minute you stop doing what they want you to do, they'll turn against you. As simple as that. So you do your best. Next thing, limit financial decisions that will put you in the hole. I'm not telling you to be a coward, scared to make moves. But I'm saying those decisions that could possibly backfire on you, limit those. I'm telling you. I speak from experience, man. The next thing, add talent to talent. What do I mean by this? Never stop learning how to do something that pays. You hear about, just like they say, well, UPS drivers make 150 grand. You know what that mean? That mean if you don't mind driving and you fast, then maybe you need to look into possibly going to UPS. Hey, I already tried. I said, I want to get my feet in the door. I said, I'm gonna go work over there for the holidays. But guess what? They was all for it, but so many people went for that job, I can't even get a road test. You got to do a road test. Shoot, man, I'll take that little 23 just so they could see how I do things. Cause they make a lot of money, man. I could do business and that, man, please. 150,000 from your base with side hustles. Next, don't give to these preachers expecting anything. In fact, I would tell you if he don't have a proven background for what he does with the poor, you should be in that church pocket watch. Especially if you're on the deacon board, you know how much money is being raised. You know that's one of the things that caused issues when I was on like the deacon board. I was doing Sunday school. I was the one collecting and counting the money. And I saw what he was doing with it. So I was confronting him. He turned against me. And he passed away. So I'm not going to really spend too much time on that. I'm just telling you it happens. Next thing I want you to understand. All these ministers you admire across the board live in luxury, a lot of them, while you live in shambles. On your dime, you. They ain't gonna help you pay your rent. They ain't gonna help you pay your mortgage. They ain't gonna help you get your car fixed. But yet you give them money day after day, week after week. You getting pimped. And they do that on YouTube too. Y'all be giving people money that don't even respond to your comments. They only respond to your comments if you super chat. That should be a red flag, don't you think? Now, you can't read every comment. If you got 1 million comments, you ain't going to get through what you need to talk about. But I've been in there. I see how many comments they be having. It don't be an unreadable amount sometimes. Next thing I want you to understand, the Most High proves every day that he's more concerned about spiritual things than money. He proves it every day. So the answer is not to get mad at him. The answer is, how do you respond to this? You respond to this by demanding fairness. Of course, you can't. Well, demanding is a bad word to you. By petitioning fairness. You can't demand nothing from him. I can't. So, what do I mean by this? You be like, okay, now, please do not allow anything to stand in the way of my prosperity. That kind of stuff. Because it ain't standing in the way of Bill Maher's. Next thing, we almost there. Give to your kids. Then give directly to those who help the poor. If you know somebody is doing for the poor in your community, give to them. Nobody can tell me the rescue mission here in Milwaukee, the Milwaukee Rescue Mission, ain't doing nothing for the poor. So when I give, it's usually a lot of times it's to them. I ain't giving to these preachers to get a new suit. Now, again, let me clarify. If they spend some of the money on themselves, that's fine. But if they spend most of the money on themselves, that's a problem. That's a problem. Last but not least, I want you to understand something. A lot of good, caring, loving people are broke. These preachers try to make it like it's dependent on your behavior. If it was dependent on behavior, my grandmother would have been one of the richest people ever to live. Don't let them get you, man. I'm here for you, man. Don't let them get you. It's all right to give. Like those of you who will give me super thanks and have given me super thanks and super chats, I appreciate it. But just understand that. If you don't understand nothing else I said, understand this right here. This one fact destroys that prosperity gospel that they teach. Like some of them done said, you must not be living right. Okay. My grandmother was living right. A lot of good, caring, loving people are broke. This is what you need to do to all these money-grubbing YouTubers, these prosperity preachers. They the same. Y'all turned y'all back on the prosperity preachers to go to the prosperity YouTubers. Same thing. Nice background, social proofs, this, that, and other. You just getting fooled again. But this is what you need to do to a lot of them.